Yeah.
As a man, we're kind of conditioned to believe that nobody cares. Nobody cares about us. You know, we're supposed to be tough. We're not supposed to need a shoulder to cry on. We're supposed to be the shoulder to cry on. And you know that can weigh on a man. It really can. And it's unnecessary, and it needs to stop.
Well, something like 2,500 blokes in Australia committed suicide last year. About 700 women. It's no good. You know, we can make a lot of bad decisions in our time, but there's only one decision you can make that's absolutely final, and you don't want to make that choice. Life's too short, mate, so you don't want to waste it.
Yeah, I mean, we've all had that in our lives and known somebody that it's happened to, and it's just really sad because, you know, they always say if they would have just waited till the next day, their mind would have been different, you know. They'd have been in a different mindset, and then, you know, maybe they could have moved on and dealt with it. But it's like you get in that moment and, you know, it's just bad.
This challenge, there's a lot of metaphors I feel like built in with this. Finding an outlet and getting out and doing something that you love to do, that you can see a beginning and an end.
I feel very fortunate in being very fulfilled in faith, family, friends, and that's not something that everybody can say. And if any of us can do anything to help out a little bit, that's great. I know I have friends that face their personal demons every day.
For me, splitting wood is something that I just love doing. It gets me outside. As you can see, it's a beautiful sunny day. Even on the snowy, cold, rainy, gloomy days, I know where I could come and be at peace. I can clear my head and just put my mind at rest.
You know, I can take the easy way out and get the splitter out and split this gnarly stuff. It's real knotty, real hard to get through, just like some things in life. But as you can see, I was walking around this piece of wood, finding the cracks in it, working the edges out, hitting the corners, busting the cracks through, splitting it up, and getting through it. That's what us men need to do. Need to get together here, find the cracks in life, and get through it.
We're losing way too many people, young men, young women. I lost my sister to suicide 6 years ago. Coming up 2 weeks, it'll be 6 years ago I lost my sister. And she left behind 2 little kids. So, yeah, it's home for me for sure. I'm gonna split some wood because I'm starting to tear up here a little bit. And I think that's the whole point of this, is to get your mind off those kinds of things, get your heart pumping.
You talk about mental health, men's mental health. Well, my mental health changed drastically when I quit drinking and drugging. And this is just my story. It may have nothing to do with your mental health, but it sure did mine. It sure did mine. And I would venture to say that it does yours too if you're drinking hard and you're going out late at nights and forgetting what you done and having people say you were an idiot last night, or, you know, where'd you end up, where you been for the last 2 days or 3 days. Or so if that's you, I think your mental health will come together a little bit better when you stop doing that stuff.
It's very sad that someone gets pushed to that point to where they feel they have no one or nothing.
It's just a really tough deal, and there's a lot of families that, you know, it hits home for them, and hopefully bringing awareness can, you know, make it better or do something to affect it in a positive way.
Men's mental health is a subject that's near and dear to my heart. I am a law enforcement officer, so I deal with mental health myself, both personally and professionally. One of the reasons why I got into wood splitting is I enjoy it, and it's a pretty good stress reliever for me.
Depression and suicide is all too often these days. It seems everybody you know has dealt with it in one way or the other. It's about a third, a quarter wood. It's not real good. If only there was more time in the day. For those who are wondering what that is, that's silver maple, I believe. I was saving it for a special splitting video.
You know, a few things in life. One is exercise, good for your mental health. So I'm going to go ahead and try to split this pile of wood here. See if I can huff and puff it out for 10 minutes. I'm not used to splitting firewood anymore. I have a hydraulic log splitter. Went out and bought this here, Fiskars, what is it, X27 splitting axe, one split, I think they call it.
As I've been in some dark places myself and had thoughts I shouldn't have had. And I am going to do this, let's split this challenge. And I'm going to do 10 minutes of splitting.
This kind of stuff is what's kept me going. This is where I find my peace, out here swinging an axe, out in the woods. If it wasn't for this, I don't know.
I used to think that depression, anxiety, thoughts of suicide were for weak-minded people until I was faced with these thoughts myself. I remember my darkest times, going through a divorce, potentially losing custody of my kid, losing my job, all at the same time. I'll never forget what brought me out of those dark days. Was inspiration from some friends and working with wood, splitting, cutting wood.
If we study about what Jesus did, aside from the miracles, aside from going to the cross, aside from giving his life on the cross for mankind so that we could have eternal life, the Bible tells us in the book of Acts that Jesus went about doing good. And that's very important. So we're going to split a little bit of wood and maybe try to flip an axe.
Splitting wood was one thing that helped me to take my aggressions out in a healthy way and not hurt anybody else or myself. But yeah, so this challenge definitely hits home for me, and hopefully it's encouraging to some of the other guys who may be struggling with your own mental health issues.
Don't suffer future pain. If you're worried about something in the future, say, you're going to suffer it now when you're worrying about it. And if it comes to fruition, you're going to suffer it then as well. There's no point suffering it now and then, because in many cases, it won't come to fruition and you suffer it now for nothing. In many cases, you are probably going to suffer that thing you fear in the future. But if you at all can, attempt to not suffer it now rather than then. Don't suffer future pain. Easier said than done, I know. But any way you can forego suffering it twice, you're better off. All that aside, guys, if you really are struggling psychologically, you got to talk to somebody. I don't know any other way to relieve that stress valve.
So she's a rainy day, which is, you know, somewhat poetic in a way, because I think I heard it once in a song. Sunny days wouldn't be so good if it weren't for the rainy one.
Stuff gets in your head, you lose track of, you just lose track. And men's mental health is seems like an almost larger stigma than mental health in general, which has quite a stigma attached to it anyway. You know, we're men, we're tough. We're not supposed to show our feelings and let people know that things are bothering us. Well, that's just a bunch of crap. We're human beings just like anybody else, and we can be hurt, and we need to be able to acknowledge that. Reach out. Don't try to go through it alone.
Remember, problem shared is a problem halved or quartered at best, at least. And you'll never ever find the answers in the bottom of a shot glass or a bottle. The best answers come from those who love you. Sometimes you just got to take a step back and look at the issues a different way.
But I want to take part in this. I think it's a really good cause. So basically I'm just going to split wood for 10 minutes. That's the idea of it, and I'm going to do it. So
when it comes to men and mental health, I'm married to a clinical psychologist, and all the points that everyone's made have been very good ones, and I appreciate your input. There are a couple of things that were not mentioned. One is we need to be good listeners. When someone comes, they will come and they will talk to you. Be sure to listen. Another thing is keep your word. If somebody's going through problems and you tell them you're going to have dinner with them Wednesday night, unless it's a true emergency, show up, because they're counting on you and they need you. Those are just a couple of pointers. And then another one is self-awareness.
I talked to my wife about some of the things that I might bring up, and she said the main thing, you know, about guys feeling down is get them to talk, because guys don't talk. Guys just really don't talk about what's bothering them. And she said, you know what? Just go out in the woods and talk to a doggone tree, if nothing else. You'll find that once you get those words spoken and get it off your chest, you're automatically going to feel better. So I guess in a way, if you look at it as though we're going to be walk out in the woods and talk to a tree to kind of relieve our stresses, that's kind of what we're doing with a little bit of wood today, you know?
Just think of your mind as your house. You know, you regulate who you let into your house, what you let into your house. You know, why not do that the same with your brain, your mind, and your body, and your soul? I surround myself with like-minded people who got my back and I got theirs. My circle is very small, absolutely, very, very small. Again, there's all different ways. Just free yourself from negativity. If you don't chop wood, that doesn't make you any less of a man at all. It's just there's so many easy steps to take to just help free your mind from the negativity, from drama. Just there's so many extra things in your life that I guarantee you, if you relook at and reanalyze, you can definitely change and adjust.
If you're having negative thoughts of suicide, like the world would be a better place without me, just stop for a minute, take a deep breath, and reach out to someone. And don't stop until you find someone that will talk and give you some of their time.
I know that not everybody can go split wood. Not everybody can get out and go swing an axe. Some people don't want to swing an axe, and that's awesome. But there are other things to do for physical and to get to, you know, nature, outdoors, fresh air, sunshine. Look at it.
Guys, if you're ever feeling like you're not important or you're not worth it or you don't feel accomplished at the end of the day and you got thoughts running through your head, just remember you are important and you do have a place and you do mean something on this earth and you're loved and you mean a lot to somebody whether you know it or not. Trust me, you do.
People ask me, why do you split wood? Well, there's a lot of different reasons, guys. Splitting wood is physical exercise, and physical exercise is good for the mind, and it's good for the body, and it's good for the soul, guys. It's good for the soul. A problem shared is a problem halved. Just like a piece of wood when you split it.
Feeling good. This is what's so awesome about it. Using your body, getting the workout.
Well, just hang on. Here we go.
Let's split this. 2 good days worth of wood and a broken ash handle, so it's well worth it for a good cause.
The challenge is pretty simple. Film yourself splitting wood.
Oh. Whoops. I think I'm going to do this just billy goat style.
Best way to realize how fat and out of shape the guy really is.
Faux show.
This river birch is garbage.
Big wood chopper.
Guys, I'm a little bit out of shape.
The things we can't control. We got a helicopter coming over. That never happens. Hello, helicopter. How you doing?